This is Twit.
Bandwidth for Know-How is brought to you by CashFly.
This episode of Know How is brought to you by the Ring Video Doorbell. With Ring, you can see and talk to anyone at your door from anywhere in the world using your smartphone. It's like caller ID for your house. Right now, get free expedited FedEx shipping when you go to ring.com/knowhow. And by Automatic, the connected car company that improves your driving and integrates your car into your digital life. For more information, visit automatic.com/twit and enter the code TWIT to get 20% off your purchase. Today on Know How, an Amazon bonanza, your questions, our answers, and remote controls. Welcome to Know How. It's the Twitch show where we build, bend, break, and upgrade. That was a good one. Wow, that was a lot of cheating.
I think I sprained something. I'm sorry. Not this early in the show, please.
I am Father Robert Ballester, and this is Cranky Hippo.
Brian Burnett. How's it going?
Yeah, he grew a little bit. Got, handsomer.
I'm not Brian. I'm Jason Howell. It's nice to meet you, Father Robert Ballester, for the first time. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I've been watching you forever, but we're on different sides of the studio. So
yeah.
You're in the newsroom now. It's a little, you're a division.
Thanks for this. Thanks for just inviting me on, like me, random person, and saying, hey, I need someone to step in for Brian.
Well, you were walking outside. And
yeah.
You know what? That guy.
I just needed a warm place to stand, and these lights do the trick. So thank you.
Now, we actually did bring you on for a purpose, and that is because we're going to be talking about some Android-driven devices, and you are the king of Android in the studio.
That's what they don't say ever.
That's what's actually on your card.
I need to get that on my card. I realize, but I play with Android devices from time to time. It's kind of part of my job.
In fact, that's how we met, because we have a common acquaintance in Brian Burnett. He TDs your show all about Android, which is Tuesdays at was it 5:30?
Well, 5 to 7, but we never
9.
get started before 5:30 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, go figure. But we are going to be getting into some Amazon devices. This is a Monday, so a Monday show is a little lighter. It's supposed to be more accessible versus the Thursday shows, which are all about the build, all about the making. This is more about people who just want to know how technology works and some of the ways that it can improve both their life and maybe their entertainment. And I thought you would be ideal to help me parse through some of the Amazon toys.
I'm happy to do that. Now, I will say some of these toys I don't have in my home. But some of them I do, and I'm a huge fan of this this water bottle here.
Actually, I did ask it. Are you full of? Actually, if you go to the overhead, we did ask it if it's full of water. Alexa did not like that. She was not a fan of that question.
She just lit up right now. She's like, "You're talking about me again, aren't you?"
Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Okay.
Stop. Go away, Alexa.
You're muted.
We'll talk to you some other time.
You're done, Alexa. Sheesh.
She's sensitive. Okay.
She really is. Now, this actually was, I'm going to say, the surprise of CES, because Amazon wasn't there. The company that makes the Echo wasn't there, but there were so many manufacturers, so many vendors who were using the Echo to drive their system. So like ADT, so many different home automation companies, so many different lock companies. They all wanted to prove that they could be integrated with Alexa, with the Echo, because evidently it's become a hit, and not really known out of the geek circles, but we're talking about a device that has 30,000 reviews with a 4.5 out of 5-star review basis. So it's done very, very well. The people who get it love it. But I want to ask you this, Jason, do people understand what the Echo does? You
mean from a data kind of collection standpoint? Because I think from that perspective, sometimes people are afraid of the potential of Alexa.
Right.
That it's always listening, or they don't understand that there's a trigger word that it's actually listening for, and that it's probably not, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you know that it is or it isn't, but it's probably not churning on every single word that we're spitting out into the world right now and processing that. It's basically just waiting for that Alexa trigger word to do anything. And I think there's a knee-jerk reaction to anything that's always listening, in air quotes, and Alexa's certainly one of those.
Yeah, we got a lot of that because people were like, oh, it's like a speaker connected to the internet. And then people said, oh, it's like a speaker connected to the internet.
Wait a minute, who's on the other side of that?
Exactly. No, it's a shopping assistant. It's a speaker. It's a conference device. It's just a home automation
Music
entree.
player,
It's a music player.
Yeah.
It's so many things that I think we're only now starting to realize exactly what it can do.
Yes, and I think the home automation aspect is kind of the fascinating piece to this puzzle. The fact that manufacturers are kind of getting in there and figuring out how to make their devices smarter. You do need a central something to control this all. And it turns out that Amazon's made a really kind of a solid product from that perspective. Because one thing I hear, and mind you, I don't have an Amazon Echo. I would love to get one. I'm sure at some point I will. But what I hear from a lot of people who do have them is that it works when you want it to. It does. It's pretty dependable. And one thing that I know in my own efforts at home, when it comes to, even something as simple as like having a Logitech remote that controls all the components on my TV, or maybe broader, out to other components throughout your house. It's not the easiest thing in the world to get a system that's going to work all the time. But for some reason, the Echo seems to do the trick in a lot of ways.
And for me, this passes what I call the screech test. And that is when you have a voice assistant that is so stupid that you end up repeating the request like 15 times to the point where you're like,
that's the worst.
Damn it, just do it. And you're screaming at it.
And you're like, wait a minute. Oh, I could just go like this with my finger and do it. Done.
Now, what we want, this is not the full Echo episode. So what we want to do in the future is we do want to show you how to do actual home automation. So we're going to be linking this with the SmartThings Hub, with Philips light bulbs, with different entertainment system pieces. But for now, we just want to show some of the basics. So for example,
Brian Burnett.
What time is it?
The time is 5:36.
So, very basic. Or how about,
Brian Burnett.
I want to eat Chinese food.
Here are a few nearby popular Chinese restaurants: Dragon's View, Chinatown Restaurant,
Oh, and it
Palace.
It updated on your phone. That was one of my questions, is like, okay, so it's going to rattle off a bunch of options, but there you go. It's all synced over.
Yeah, the integration piece is also really nice. And I think a lot of Echo users don't realize that app is not just for setting up. That app is actually a vital companion piece. So when you ask something, it will jump over here. Like, for example, if I would say,
Brian Burnett.
order me some soup.
I wasn't able to understand the
Brian Burnett.
Order me some soup.
I found two matching items in your order history.
There you go. So now what it's going to do is it's going to go through my product review history on the Amazon app, and it will actually show what are the types of soups that I've ordered in the past. And it will ask me, do I want to add one of those to my list? But I actually disabled that because I don't want people
You don't want drive-by Amazon carts?
This actually can be a problem because
that sounds like it could be a problem.
yeah, you have to remember when you have people over to hit the mute because people like messing with
Brian Burnett.
For sure.
And I already did have one, like 15 pounds of laundry detergent showed up, and I'm like,
seriously. Well, at least I mean, over the course of your life, you're going to use 15 pounds of laundry detergent.
Yes, I hope so. Oh, it is actually a really, really good system. And actually, what I do want to do is I want to show you how you can add some what we call skills to
Brian.
You go back down here to the app, Alex. Let's jump back in. One of the things that people have to do is you have to learn how to use this. Oop. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Why did you go offline?
Brian Burnett.
That's actually this phone. I'm having issues with the OnePlus One. It keeps going off. So if I go into the skills, oh man, let me turn down my brightness a little bit. Is that, that's too low.
There you go. Halfway point.
Okay.
That'll work.
So if you go into the skills, you have the ability to add things that Brian Burnett can do. So for example,
Brian Burnett.
Ask Magic 8 Ball how today's episode is going to be.
The Magic 8 Ball says, most likely.
Okay, well, that's a standard Magic 8 Ball application.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Magic
Yeah, thanks.
8 Ball.
It's as useful as a standard Magic 8 Ball.
Exactly.
And again, the app is crashing on this OnePlus One. This is why I need Leo's new phone. Bring it over.
Which one?
I want his LG Flex. That works really well. But you can go through the entire list if you go back down here, Alex. These are all the different ready-to-go skills. And some of them are actually really cool. For example, I have this linked into my Automatic account. So I have Automatic on my car, so I can
Brian Burnett.
ask Automatic where my car is. Oh, you know what? I just turned it off.
Did you just step on the power plug?
I just stepped on the power plug. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Brian Burnett
Can do nothing if she's not plugged into the wall. Okay.
Brian Burnett.
hates that.
I realize
Brian Burnett. I'm sorry.
Brian Burnett.
Come back. Brian Burnett.
that Echo is very powerful.
Yeah, actually,
Actually, they need to have a little bit of a battery pack built into that.
they do. I have noticed this because the plug that they sent this with, and this is brand new. It doesn't fit in this, and this is a new socket. It doesn't fit entirely well. So if I bump the cord, it kind of resets.
Yeah. That's not good.
That's a pain in the
not
butt.
good.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to play with this in a future episode. But Jason, the news I wanted to bring up is I've heard that there's actually a new version of the Echo that's coming.
Smaller version, right?
Much smaller
Fits
version.
in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, so think of it as whereas Echo and Alexa is for the house, this is more for your personal. You can hang this off your shoulder.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, thanks.
It's nice
Thanks
to
for
have
coming
you
back.
back. You could maybe wear it on a necklace. Walk
Jarvis.
around, yeah, maybe.
A Jarvis, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Now, it's codenamed Fox,
Yep.
and I think they've already got a manufacturer for it. It's supposed to be smaller, it's supposed to be cheaper, about $100. So, you know, it's coming down from the $179 to $200. I think I got
Although
this.
you can get this for around that price too, sometimes on
right,
sales.
Right. I actually, the reason why I bought this is because I got it for $130. It was one of those, I think it was a Black Friday sale. And I'm like,
great
I
price.
wanted to play with an Echo, so that'd be a good time to get it. And it's going to be able to do the same thing, but they are thinking that with the lower price point and with the smaller size and with more possible places that you can put it, this could become their breakout device where Brian Burnett ends up everywhere.
Yeah, I suppose. See, this is where I get a little confused because then it starts to get into you can take it anywhere you go and it's portable. And you know what else I can take anywhere that's portable is my phone, and it does some of this stuff already. Like I feel like the value with the Echo is that you park it somewhere and it's always there when you need it. And you know, maybe it's too expensive to expect a general consumer to get 5 of these and have one in every room, but maybe that price comes down. Maybe that's what that's good for, right? A lower price device that can just reside everywhere. It's more incentive to kind of, you know, interconnect them through your house and have them be there. I just don't understand, for me, bringing an Echo with me. You know what I mean? Unless, I don't know.
I get it.
Maybe if you're going to a hotel, or I don't know when you would do that.
No, but I totally get it, because one of the things about the Echo is it's sort of it's the sit-down tech, where you've put the phone away and the tablet's far away from you, and now you just speak into the room and you go. But if you're on the road, you have those things with you. So then we do get back to the scream test, where I could keep yelling at my voice recognition device, which is probably not doing so well because now it's not my quiet house, it's a noisy area. Or I pick up my phone and I push 3 buttons and it's the same thing. So I don't know. I do want to see it. I'm definitely going to order it.
To see it too, especially the lower cost, to see if that kind of moves more people in this direction and raises more awareness. But they've got it. They're off to a fantastic start, and even better than that, no one really saw it coming. It was really out of nowhere.
It really was. It was one of these things where when Amazon released it, people were like, okay, what is that supposed to do? And now people are saying,
and it was kind of a joke because the whole the video that accompanied it just was a little too. I don't know if it was purposefully bad or what, but it was just, there were a lot of laughing moments. And
bottom line, if you are a geek and you want to play with home automation and you know sort of a regular consumer and they've got an Echo and it's gathering dust because they don't know what to do with it, now would be a really good time for you to say, hey, you know what? Let me take that off your hands.
Yeah.
Here's $50.
Yeah. I'd do that.
All right. I do want to jump into something else, Amazon. So we've been talking about the Echo, but I do want to talk about a low-cost tablet that we all got. We bought a bunch of them, the Fire tablet, the 7-inch, and about the Fire Stick, which are 2 devices from Amazon that I think are actually very underestimated. But before we do that, hey, Alex, let's go ahead and bump an ad up here, because I do want to talk about another gadget that I really enjoyed. They actually were at CES, and I actually bought one with my own money. This is for me, this is sort of the gold standard. If I'm willing to shell out my own cash for an advertiser, they're not just an advertiser, it's a product I believe in. And of course, it's this, the Ring Video Doorbell. Now, the Ring Video Doorbell is probably the easiest way to turn your house into a smart home. Now, here's what's inside the kit. If you go to the side view here, Alex, you're gonna have everything you need to get the Ring up and running in just a few minutes. You've got the tools, you've got the charging cable, you've even got a level so that you'll install it properly. Now, here is a mounting plate. If you've got a current buzzer, a wired buzzer, so that you can trigger the doorbell on the inside of the house, it will charge the Ring off of the current that's going to that buzzer. If not, or if, for example, you want to install this where you don't have any wiring, you just charge it up. It's a micro USB port, and that charge will last it for a year. Now, what it can do with that charge is absolutely amazing. So this connects to your home Wi-Fi network, and it allows you to have a two-way conversation with anyone who comes and presses the bell. More than that, it will also allow you to, well, do motion detection. So someone comes to your door, they drop off a package, maybe they're trying to scope out your home, see if anyone's there, see if maybe now is a good time to break in. This will automatically take pictures, video, and upload it to the cloud. So even if they try to destroy the device, they can't destroy the evidence. Oh, here's the proof. For me, this is it. This is the application for my actual Ring Video Doorbell that I have installed for my parents. Now, in Las Vegas, they live in an area where we've had issues with people scoping out the homes of the elderly, because they know that they go away for a while to the club or for on vacation, and they'll stop by and they'll ring the bell, maybe do it a couple of days in a row just to make sure that no one's home, and then they know it's safe to burglarize. Well, with this, if someone rings the bell, my parents will get a notification on their phone that someone is at the door, and they can have a two-way conversation. They don't have to tell that person that they're not in the house. They just have to say, no, I don't want any, or no, I can't come to the door right now. The other thing that it will do is it will allow us to track who's coming and going from the house, because all of this is saved in the cloud. It's accessible both on my phone and on my laptop. I can download it for later if I want to preserve evidence of something going on. Now, folks, why not try the device Time Magazine called one of the best gadgets of the year? USA Today named it as one of their top gadgets of 2015. Right now, because you are members of the Twit Army, they're going to put your mind at ease and help protect your home just by going to ring.com/knowhow. That's ring.com/knowhow, and they will give you free expedited FedEx shipping. Again, that's ring.com/knowhow. With Ring, you're always home.
I got video of kids taking all the Halloween candy at the door and dumping it into their bag.
There is a little something, like every once in a while I like scrolling back to the videos and just go, oh, who's that?
I had a feeling it was going to happen because we did the thing where we left the bowl out and we're like, take one.
Work?
No, you know that
works.
Eventually some kid's gonna come along and be like, hey, hey, hey. But it was pretty awesome to watch the video because they're there, they're all like looking around, like obviously doing it super quick. And then like 10 seconds later after they leave, my daughter opens the door because she obviously heard someone out there, but she had no idea. She just said, the candy's gone. I was like, little did we know, you missed them by like 10 seconds.
You know what you do next year? Edit together all the clips you have and put it on a screen next to the candy and just have it play on a loop. Because those kids will come back and they'll go, oh.
They'll be like, oh no, you got me.
So folks, the Ring Video Doorbell, it's great for stopping pranksters everywhere.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, let's move on from pranksters because I want to talk about this. Jason, you've got yourself one of these.
I do. I should have brought it out here. It's at the desk in the other room.
And
yes,
actually,
this is the Amazon Fire tablet.
I got two. I bought another one.
Wow, what are you going to do with the other one?
Well,
my favorite part was that it came like you might buy like a 6-pack of drinks or something.
That was actually kind of cool.
A little pack with all 6 of them all standing up. Like,
There's something nice about being able to distribute 20 tablets. And it costs the same as half of an iPad Pro.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
But we won't talk about that because Megan's not here. All right, so this is a tablet that we bought for $35. It was a Black Friday thing. Yeah. You can get them now for the regular price is $50. It's like $49.99. That does come with advertising. So every time you turn it on, you will see an advertising screen. It's not completely annoying.
No. It doesn't bother me at all.
It really doesn't bother me. But if you really don't want the advertising, you can pay $15 more, and for $64.99, go ahead. You'll get a device that doesn't have any advertising on it whatsoever. Now, here's the funny thing. When I first got this, my only plan was I was going to nuke the OS, get rid of the Fire OS that they've got on here, get rid of that stupid Silk browser, and I wanted to install vanilla Android. But as I've been using this, I kind of just realized if I did that, I would remove all the things that makes this an interesting tablet. Because if I put Android on this, it wouldn't be that fast. The specs on this aren't great.
It's not going to be ideal hardware for Android, for vanilla Android in the way that you would want it to be.
Exactly.
And you have a basis by which to compare how normal vanilla Android should operate.
Precisely.
So you would definitely notice it.
What I'm thinking is if I were to put vanilla Android on this, it would start acting like a Nexus 7. The original Nexus 7 does when you try to upgrade it to the latest version of Android. There's not enough resources, the processor's not fast enough. It just wasn't designed for that. Same thing here. This was designed for a lower end operating system. But that's not to say that it's bad. If you look through this, most of the apps, I mean, there are compatible apps. You can find some of the same games. And if you buy the Amazon Fire, it really is great for kids because you can all the apps are set so that they don't cost anything. So if your kids do in-app purchases, it's not real money, which is nice.
Right. Very nice.
I'm not big on that. What I am big on is the consumption of Amazon content. If you are a user of Audible, of the Kindle, or of Amazon Prime Video. So if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, this is an unparalleled device. It is a fantastic device to have. And let me show you why. So obviously, you know why it'd be good as a reader. You know why it would be good as an Audible device. Oh, by the way, the battery life on this, when I'm just playing audiobooks, is phenomenal. It'll last me like 2 weeks. I don't, again, probably because it's a lower end CPU, but this is what really gets me interested. So if I go to video, this is Amazon Prime Video. Now, I can do standard things. So if I want to play an episode, I just go through the interface. I should probably clean that up a little bit so it doesn't look so smudgerific. There we go. Aha. And yeah, just go ahead and play whatever I want. It's not the fastest tablet, but it does pretty well. So right now, this is streaming off of the wireless access point I have right next to this. That in itself is not spectacular, but what is this. So if I go back, I have the option. Anytime I have a Prime piece of content, I hit this right here, and it downloads it to the tablet.
That's the most amazing thing in the world. I tell you, I went on a trip a few months back, and it was the best thing in the world to take my Prime membership and go in there. And I mean, you're down, and they give you a really long time to keep it on the device.
48 hours. Well, the way it works is you can download it and have it on your device forever. But from the first time you play the media, you have 48 hours to reconnect it to the internet.
Right.
So it has to reconnect just to check, make sure that you're still a member.
Are you still a member of Prime?
Precisely. But otherwise, it will play. It will play just fine. So, for example, the reason why I have 2 of these is because I bought this one from my mom, along with a 64 gigabyte memory card, because she just got really, really into The Good Wife, Scandal, and Mozart in the Jungle. And she's going to be taking a trip to the Philippines. So what I'm going to do is
there you go, load it
all
up.
of it's going to be loaded onto this.
Yep.
She will have all her media, and she will never have to connect to the internet. It's a fantastic little thing. Now, I will say, if you're going to do this, you do need to get a card, because there's only 8 gigabytes inside, and actually...
I ran into that limit, actually, when I was loading it up for our flights.
Right.
So,
but I mean, this is
idea.
$15 for a 64 gigabyte card. And a 64 gigabyte card, if you download an SD, which I would suggest because the files are much smaller.
And honestly, you don't need more because the display itself is not like a high-res Super HD
The display can't do 1080p, so why would you download in 1080p? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, download in standard def, and I did the calculations last night. It's something like I can put 7 weeks worth, like you could play constantly 7 weeks worth of TV shows, and it would all fit onto the 64 gigabyte.
Not enough. I need more than 7 weeks of straight video content for my trips.
The best part, when you get back and the Wi-Fi connects back up to your home AP, it just does the check again, and all that media is refreshed.
And
you
it
don't have to
just stays
re-download.
there. No,
just
totally.
sits there. So yeah, this, I would really suggest this. And especially at this price point, you're not going to worry about breaking it. You're not going to worry about giving it to the kids. They can't do anything that will cost you money. So for me, this is the ideal child device.
I mean, $50 for a device that doesn't necessarily pack like insane specs, and you're not buying it for that. You're literally just paying $50 for a device that just brings you some great media content. You know, and you didn't really mention the Amazon Underground.
Oh yeah.
Which is the app kind of marketplace, and essentially the apps that are inside Amazon Underground are free apps. They're paid apps normally, but here they're free, including in-app purchases. It's not everything that Amazon carries is
But
there.
it's a lot.
But it's a lot, and it's enough when you consider that, like, you buy this $50 device, and what you want is entertainment that you really don't have to pay much, if anything, extra for, and you get that here between all of the media types of content that you can get.
I do want to bring up another piece. So we've talked about a little bit about the Echo, we talked a little bit about the tablet. I want to talk about this. Now, Jason, I know this is not the media device that you prefer. You're big into the Chromecast.
I love the Chromecast.
And I actually love the Chromecast too. Chromecast is fantastic. It works really well. It's a device that I think everyone should have just because it works with nearly everything.
You want to know why I love the Chromecast? One more reason why I love the Chromecast? Because I gave it to my parents months ago. I gave them a Chromecast because it was all, I'm their tech support.
Right.
You know, they have iOS devices, they have big screen, smart TV, they have all these questions every time I come home. Last time I came, I put up a Chromecast behind their TV, connected it to their wireless, and the only time I've ever heard from them saying this isn't working right was just the other night, and all it involved was unplugging it from the wall and replugging it back in, and it worked again. And it was at that moment that I realized, like, this is the best technology item I've ever bought for you guys. It literally keeps working, and you don't need to call me, because it never stops working. You know, so I love the Chromecast first and foremost. I know that the Fire TV is pretty awesome as well.
This is pretty awesome. Yeah, it's so $35 all the way up to, I think it's $45 if you want to get the one that has the voice remote. I opted not to get the voice remote just because, again, I think I bought this for $20 on Black Friday. But really quickly, if you go ahead and put the Fire into the big TV, Alex. I've already got this set up. It's connected to this router. So this interface, and you can go ahead and go full screen on this. This interface will show you all the apps that I have loaded up. So of course I can load up Netflix. I can load up all the movies that I have on Prime. I can load up the music. So this will look through all of the Prime music that I have, which, if you are a Prime member, is everything. I mean, that's one of the nice things.
Frozen. Father Robert.
Well, hey.
Frozen.
Hey. And you know what?
Let it go.
I won't even make the excuse that I was playing that for my niece. I like that song. I sing it in the car.
All right, fair enough. It's catchy. All right.
I will own it, okay?
All right.
But it's not the fastest thing, but what I like about it is really slick.
Yeah.
Like you, I gave one of these to my parents last year, and they had a Roku. My mom likes it, but my dad hates it. He can't figure it out. They figured out the Fire with no problems, and I got it synced up to everything. So they're actually, I don't know if this happens to you. My Netflix and my Prime are on their stick, so my queue gets all messed up because suddenly the Fire thinks I like Downton Abbey.
No, I call that show Yawn-ton Abbey.
I don't like that. But okay, so I can play Netflix. So this works just like a Chromecast would, just like an Apple TV would. It is very
actually
nice.
a little different, because on a Chromecast you're controlling it from your phone and just sending the video up there. So this is almost more like an Android TV.
Exactly, yeah, because
Android TV.
all the processing's done in the stick. You don't have to have this connected to anything. This is also a phenomenal vacation tech piece.
Oh, okay.
You go away, we've done this every time we go on vacation to Hawaii, a Fire Stick comes with us, it plugs into the TV, and so after the days, whatever, when we're really tired, we sit down, and my mom gets to force us to watch something on Netflix or Prime.
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey. By the way, I should not have given her my PIN code, because every once in a while I'll just see like a charge. $40. I bought the Good Wife. Oops. Yay. Thanks, Mom.
Hey, I've heard that's a good show. So.
And now I own it, so it's something.
Okay, all right, you better
I'll probably watch it. But okay, this is basic. What I did want to show you is I wanted to show you something else that I think is quite phenomenal. And it happens if you have multiple Amazon devices. So a Fire Stick and the Fire tablet. So what I'm going to do, go back over to here, Alex. I'm going to start up the Martian, or I'm going to resume it. It gives me an option here when I've got a Fire Stick. Oops, sorry, cancel. When I've got a Fire Stick, I can say resume on my Fire Stick or play on my Fire Stick. And what it will do is it will actually connect to the Fire Stick through this network, assuming that my AP hasn't died, and now it's playing this through to the Fire Stick. So it's remote controlling the Fire Stick. But
Nice.
here's what I love: it does this feature called X-ray, which I never understood. If you look, so X-ray is as you're watching a film, it will like bring up facts about the film.
Yes.
It will actually tell you who are the actors on screen. So if you're like a crazy movie buff or you like movie trivia, this is exactly what you want. So right now there's no one on screen because it's a space screen, but
So they give you
see?
general trivia.
There we go.
and
Now
then
it
somebody
starts
appears.
popping up. It'll show you who are the actors who are going to be in that scene. I love this, and it totally makes sense once you have a Fire Stick, because instead of blocking the view of the movie,
Yeah.
now the movie's on my TV, and this is just going in real time.
Second screen experience.
This is the second screen
Value add.
experience.
Do you find yourself watching movies or TV shows and having that open to do that?
I thought it was so stupid, but really, when you get a properly done second
Yeah.
screen, not like go back and
Right.
forth, it's all there. Because the way I've seen second screen before is like something will happen and then the movie pauses and the second screen pops up. That kind of breaks you out of the movie.
Yeah, no, a lot of second screen implementation has not been very good.
Not
so
good at
that-
all.
yeah.
But what this will
It's
do.
complimentary at least.
They have this. They've really done up The Martian. So if you're watching second screen on The Martian and you get to the parts where like it has changed from the book, it will actually bring up notes saying in the real world, or in the book, And it's like, oh my gosh, this is like every movie buff nerd's dream.
Yep. That's awesome.
So this is good stuff. It will also do liner notes if you're listening to music, so you can use it as like a karaoke machine. So yeah, there we go. So folks.
I'm sure you do that all the time, by the way.
Oh yeah, I rock out.
No,
You don't know. You don't know. Fleetwood Mac. I'm
to
big
let it
on-
go. I know.
You can go your own way. All right.
All right.
I'm just gonna say that right there. Now I will say, this is one of the best systems I can think of because it works really well. Even though I'm using this totally clunky router right now that doesn't like communicating.
Not good for a router. by the way.
Not good for a router. These devices are working, they're working quickly, they're working properly, and they're both standalone. So I can use just the Fire tablet, I can use just the Fire Stick, but if I have them both, it's better. I mean, that's what you want. You don't want to duplicate functionality, you just want to
Right.
give extra functionality. I think, a bonus.
Any qualms that you might have about the devices themselves has to kind of like go out the door when you consider how low cost they are. So
And that's the other
kind
thing.
of the beauty of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing. Where it'd be like, okay, if I have the occasional hiccup, if this was a $400 system, I'd be like, you
Right.
can't do that.
Right.
But it's a $35 and a $35 system, so I'm like, okay, you know what? An occasional restart, I'm okay with that.
Yep.
My parents can use it. If my parents can use it, obviously it's accessible. Yeah. But you know what? Whenever you do this, you do end up with a lot of remote controls. And what I want to do is I want to show you a little something that's I found at CES that might eliminate most of the remote controls.
Please help me with remote controls. We have a problem at home.
I can
and
help
I
you
know
with that,
I'm
Jason.
not alone.
I can help you with that. But before I help you, I do want to thank the second sponsor of this episode of Know How. It's automatic. Have you played with this yet?
I have it installed in my car actually.
I have this installed in my Toyota Corolla, and I have to say, at first I was like, oh, okay, it does the data bus. It plugs into your controller area network, pulls off some data. It'll show me what the control codes are. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. I didn't think it was that useful, but dang, I used this on the trip I made to Las Vegas and back. And Alex, if you go ahead and roll that B-roll, this is some of the information that you'll pull off. So this is one of the drives I made last week. 429 minutes, 431 miles, 36 miles per gallon, $37 worth of fuel. I did spend a lot of time over 70. I like driving fast when I'm going cross country. So it will give you all the information that you might want out of a more advanced car, like a Prius or a Tesla. And it actually changes the way you drive. This is the gamification of driving. You want to set the high score. And so you're going to do things like, I'm not going to brake hard. I'm going to spend most of my time under 70. Now, you will notice those first 2 days, that's when I was driving from Vegas, and yeah, I didn't do so well. And then my fuel efficiency improved because I actually started playing the game. I started saying, hey, you know what? I want 99, I want 100. And it actually has really improved my fuel efficiency. This is for this week, so obviously I'm doing much better on this one. I've done 167 miles because it's about 40 to 45 miles back and forth to the studio each and every single day. But that's not all it does. It also does engine check. So it will show you what's the health of your system. Is your motor okay? It'll give you the codes. I also love this part. You can set it so that it will warn you when you're driving unsafely, and it will even do a crash alert. So if it detects a crash, excess of G, et cetera, you can set it up so that it will alert the authorities and bring help to you. That's something you would only get with something like OnStar or the system that you buy when you get a Tesla. So I got to say, I'm really digging the automatic.
I also really like when you have it installed and you do things like accelerate too fast out of a stop, it'll go blip. Yeah. Or you stop too fast, and it's trying to do that, partially.
It's in your head. It's like, oh,
yes, I know.
I don't want that
Anytime
sound.
I trigger it, I'm like, man, I didn't need to go that fast right there. I could have slowed down just a little.
But folks, try on automatic and see if it doesn't make for a better driving experience, and see if it doesn't just let you geek out with your car. Now, right now, because they love you, because you're a member of the Twit Army, they're going to help you put your mind at ease. They're going to make it so that you can get an automatic in your car right now. Automatic is normally $99.95, but when you use our special offer code TWIT, you'll save 20%. Go to automatic.com/twit. That's automatic.com/twit for more information and to purchase. And use the offer code TWIT to save 20% off the regular purchase price. That's automatic.com/twit. And we thank Automatic for their support of Know-How. So, Jason, remote controls.
Yes, I have problems. Yeah. Because we have, all right. So we have a remote control for our sound bar. We have a remote control for our TV. We have a remote control for our DVR. We have a remote control for our PS3. And I'm I'm cool with it. Like, I guess I'm all right with it. Like, I know which, and I guess we all got used to it. But I know that it frustrates my wife. And so I got her this Logitech Smart Hub, which is, it's a hub, RF hub that sits over where your components are. And so the RF remote that talks to the hub actually sends the command to that, and that sends it to all the other devices, so you don't have to sit there and go, boop, and wait for it your remote to send it all, right? And perfect world, it would work great, but it's still like, it never knows the on-off state of a particular device. So you hit an action to turn everything off or on, and something happens to be on, so it turns off and everything else turns on. It's just, there's no perfect solution.
That
here,
is
Brother
the
Robert.
modern frustration of any entertainment system. It really is. Well, how about me showing you how you could get rid of all that frustration?
Oh, well, if you can solve this, then I'll be very happy.
All right. So, hey, Alex, why don't you go ahead and take us back to CES 2016. In a world of the Internet of Things, it most often ends up being a world of remotes. But what if I told you that you could find yourself a remote control that was smart enough to know what it was pointed at? That's why we're here at 7 Hugs, and I'm speaking with Stefan, who's going to show us what their gadget can do for people with a lot of remotes. Stefan, this is a common problem. I've got my TV, I've got my Blu-ray player, I've got my game console, I've got my lights. I have all these devices in my home, and I need to have 5 or 6 different remotes. And even then, sometimes I can get crosstalk, sometimes they don't work with one another. What have you done to fix that?
So to fix that, actually we've done a remote that it's very easy to use. You just need to point to a device, the screens adapt automatically, and you can control it. For example, you point to a Philips Hue, the screen will show you the Philips Hue interface, and you press it and it works. You point to a Sonos, it changes automatically, and then you can change the track, change the volume. And doing nothing else than pointing to another device, the screen will always change according to the device. It's very simple and very easy to use. So everyone from kids to grandfather can use it very easily.
Okay, so how does this actually work? Because I've done this before. I have very directional remotes, so I have to aim it and make sure I'm hitting the right component. But this remote actually senses where it is and where it's pointing. How do you do that?
The way we do that, we do indoor geolocalization. So we geolocate each device, and when you're pointing to these locations, we can change the screens. So it's very easy to differentiate all the devices.
Now, how dense can I get? How many devices can I have before it starts to get confused, before it no longer knows what I'm pointing at?
the minimum distance is 20 centimeters, but even if you get two devices which are close to 20 centimeters, you can easily differentiate on the remote. It's showing the two interface, or you can decide to geolocate two different places, which make it easier to control.
Stefan, this is very, very cool tech. Now, here's the big question. Pricing and availability. If people want to start decluttering their remote control lifestyle, where can they go? How much will they have to pay? And when can they pick one up?
So pre-order will be available in Q1 this year, ship in September, and the price will be less than $200. The retail price will be less than $200, and it comes with one remote and 3 light sockets.
Thank you very much for speaking with us. Thank you very much for showing us the future of remote controls. And folks, if you're playing with the Internet of Things, maybe you just need to give it a hug. If you're like most tech folk, you've got a remote for your Roku, maybe your Apple TV, maybe the TV itself, DVD player, Blu-ray player. All those different devices need some way to control them. Well, what if I told you that you could replace them all with this? That's exactly what we're trying to do here at SingleQ. I'm speaking with Ran, who's going to explain why your finger is the newest in remote control. Ran, what is this?
Hey Robert, thanks. So this is SingleQ. It's a gesture control device that basically allows you to control your TV, media streamers, cables, and smart devices with just a wave of your finger. Just like you said, you raise your finger, you pinch to select, move left, right, up and down, and that's it. You got it.
What I like about this device is that you've kept it very, very simple. You could have gone the crazy route and put a stereoscopic camera in here and a bunch of sensors so that you could do 3D sensing. This is all just machine logic. It takes a 2D camera, allows it to see what you're doing, and then figures out what gestures are controlling the TV. Oh, the other nice thing about this is you're using an IR blaster, so it will literally work with every device you've got. You don't have to sync it Bluetooth. You don't have to connect it over your Wi-Fi network. You just go. Tell me, what went into the development of the SingleQ? Why create a device like this?
So we've been around for quite a long time, and we found that machine learning is something we're really good at. But the point was, we always were working with other companies to integrate it into their solutions. And we felt we wanted to control both hardware and software together. And that's why we came out with SingleQ. So a true consumer electronic device you can control at home and have that kind of precision that we wanted to get to.
I've been playing with this for a while, and I have to say, within 10 seconds, I knew exactly how to control the device. It's incredibly accurate, and the fact that I can tune it to my gestures, the way that I move my body, tells me that, yeah, there's some really solid design behind this. If they wanted to find out more about the SingleQ, maybe pick one up for themselves, where do they go?
So they go to either our website, singleq.com, or they go at amazon.com. They can find SingleQ. And in 2016, we'll be launching across other retailers and in Europe and other countries as well.
Thank you very much for speaking with us. That's SingleQ, and SingleQ puts you in control. Yeah, that's how we're going to be controlling it. So two options there.
All right.
So you can have the Force lightsaber remote control, where you point it exactly at what you want, or control it with your finger. Now, I know you were skeptical on the finger control because we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to think that that's going to work all the time, but hey, it's their business, so I'm sure that they want it to.
I actually did test it. After we shut down the cameras, I did test it. And remember, we're in the middle of a hall. It's busy. There's a lot of people walking past, and it did manage to isolate me. And they actually said that the key to that was not to overthink it. So many of the solutions are using stereoscopic cameras, plus a near IR, plus some other sensor in order to find the range. They said, no, we just taught the system how to interpret images. And it actually worked really well.
And then the seven hugs?
7 hugs.
The 7 hugs.
It's French.
Interesting name. The thing I like about that solution is, like, when we think about simplifying our living room remote scenario, we're thinking about folding them, all of the actions that you need to do into one remote, but still thinking of that remote in a look, it has every feature under the sun
Right.
stocked, and it's going to be super smart and turn on 4 things in the scene or whatever they call it. And the thing I like about that is I actually wouldn't mind if one remote just knew what power I'm pushing when I point it.
Exactly.
There, my question is, of course, like, most entertainment consoles, they're all stacked right next to each other, and I wonder how the accuracy is because they're very small targets.
We were playing with it, and the
how do
accuracy-
you know that you're pointing it at the right device?
Well, because it knows. So, for example, as you calibrate it, so you point it at the device and you tell it what it is, it now knows that spatial location belongs to that device. So no matter where you move, because it is location aware, it knows what it's pointing at, and the screen will actually change to the functions of that device.
That's cool. I like that a
So
lot.
yeah, I mean, not bad. I do want to see that. I am more concerned about that not working than I am about the Thinkers. I know the
Yeah.
Thinker technology works,
Yeah.
but if 7Hugs could nail that, I mean, that would be pretty cool, because not only would it be a universal, but they would get the visible feedback of when
Yes.
the screen changes. They know, now I'm controlling the game console.
Yeah, I feel like you need a little bit of that visible feedback to kind of get a sense of that and de-complex. I don't know if that's the right word.
I like it.
Uncomplex, whatever you want to call it. We're making it boards.
Yeah, that's what we do here on Know How. Hey, Jason, this is normally
Good
the
at
time where we would have Cranky Hippo.
Okay,
and,
all right.
answer some questions, but I'm thinking, can we bring you in on
Yeah,
this?
yeah, I
'Cause
can do this.
we've got a few ones. This first one is from Rob Yesta, and he wants more power.
All right, he says, you talked about how good the Razer Blade Stealth is. I was thinking about this versus building a new gaming rig. I like the option to be portable. Do you think this is going to work well as desktop by adding monitor, keyboard, and mouse? Are we breaking these apart, or should I
No,
just
go
read the
ahead,
rest?
yeah,
Any
go ahead.
suggestion on storage size? Will 128 gigs work for just gaming? I know adding external hard drive for storage will work for videos and pictures.
Actually, very good question. And the first thing I have to say is, yes, this will replace a desktop, because you've got that Thunderbolt 3 USB-C connection to that core dock. And what the core dock allows you to do is to use an actual desktop graphics card. It's not a laptop trying to pretend like it's a desktop. It's an actual desktop card inside of an external case, which is really nice. If you were going to use it as a desktop, what I would suggest is you also get something like a Thunderbolt dock, because what that will allow you to do is to have one connection that will provide connectivity back out to the core and to the keyboard, the mouse, the networking, and any external peripherals that you have. I mean, it's really, really nice if you can have a one connection dock for desktop functionality. Now,
It's a nice looking machine.
it is real. I mean, think about it. So 12.6-inch screen, 4K, and it's a beautiful 4K. All aluminum, milled, 2.75 pounds, 128 to 512 gigabyte SSD, i7, the individually illuminated keys so that you can do. That's really,
nice.
really nice. It's $1,000. I mean, that's a fantastic, phenomenal
Great
deal.
price for a gamer laptop.
But then I got to ask you, this is something we hear a lot, which is how big should my SSD be? Rob did ask, he said, is 128 gigabytes enough? I will say this, 128 gigabytes is absolutely enough. Get 256.
You might as well future-proof yourself if you have the money to do it when it comes to storage on these things. I don't know. Yeah, I would almost say pony up.
Yeah, because yes, you can use externals, but that kind of defeats the purpose of having an ultra.
Yeah, and these aren't swappable. I mean, can you swap it out?
Yeah,
after
I mean,
the fact?
you can, but then you'd have to disassemble it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
don't do that. And you really limit yourself in functionality, because I've got a 256 gigabyte SSD in this laptop. Now, granted, I do a lot of video editing on this, but I'm always swapping things on and off the drive because I don't like slipping down below about 30 gigabytes left on the
Right.
SSD. Well, if I had 128, I would have like 10 gigs at all times, because between the operating system and all the software I have installed, it's 100 and some gigabytes worth of stuff. So could you go with 128? Yeah. Should you go with 128? No. What's your call?
I would agree. Yeah. Go. Like I said, pony up.
Pony
get,
up.
Get
Yeah,
the
tell
next
me.
step
Yeah.
up. You're going to be happy with that.
Exactly. And now, if you really, really
Long-term.
want to be cool, get the 512, but you're probably not going to do that. Get the 256, you'll be happy.
Yeah, if you got the money, sure, get the 512. Yes, do it. Why
Here we
not?
go. Get the 256, then build that super crazy fast USB 3 external SSD enclosure that we made on Know How 40 episodes back, because that will transfer data at 400 to 500 megabytes per second. And that makes transferring on and off your SSD so much better.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We got, so that was about more power. This one's from Jason Perry about more power.
All right.
I'm looking for a laptop for my parents. My criteria is that I won't hear about it for the longest time possible. Their criteria is that it can be no more than $750 to $850.
I hear this a lot. I mean, parents, they want a nice machine, and the child who has to play tech support just wants a machine that just won't break.
Yes.
Or it's easy to fix when it does break.
Yeah. It reminds me of my Chromecast story.
Oh, yes.
And
exactly,
everything that
right?
came before the Chromecast.
Just disconnect it and put it back in. It'll be fine.
Yes,
Mom.
it
It'll be
worked.
fine.
Great.
Now, okay, so at this price point, automatically we are eliminating all Macs. You're not going to get a Mac.
Yeah.
No, and don't buy a used. So we're going to be looking at either a Windows machine or a Chromebook. I think those are going to be your options here. Here's the thing. I use Windows on a regular basis. It is my daily driver. It's my thing. I like working on it because I'm very efficient on it. What do you think about making parents use Windows?
I don't know. You know, my parents used Windows for a long time, and they got into a lot of trouble using Windows. So I guess it depends on the skill level of the parent. You know, are they practiced in the world of keeping their computer clean and not clicking on links they're not supposed to in emails and downloading attachments that come from random places in their emails? Parents.
And the answer
I'm
is
talking to my
no.
parents, by the way.
The answer is no.
Yeah, so I didn't trust my parents with Windows, and so the next time they wanted to get a computer, I moved them over to Mac, and it's been a delightful
Smooth.
experience.
Yeah, smooth.
Yes.
I'm the same way. My parents love Windows machines. I bought my mom a laptop. I bought my dad a laptop. Now my dad wants another laptop. And for them, it's like every time they get it too infected with stuff, they just want another laptop. And like, okay, maybe we need to stop this cycle. Now, Jason isn't too big on getting his parents Chromebooks, but he did mention in the because there was a thread going on in this. He said, look, they just need to browse the web. But they don't understand the difference between a browser and like a native program. I'm still thinking a Chromebook would work really, really well for them.
I mean, I love my Chromebook. This is the Chromebook Pixel, the first one, so not the new one. But this is more expensive than even that, right? Like the new one you can get for around $1,000, $1,029, and I love it. But yeah, it's just maybe a little bit more expensive. But Chrome OS, just as a platform, is really good for people who are only going to do email and browsing and that sort of stuff, not going to do power users type of stuff, and for people that you kind of want to keep out of trouble. You know, like you want to protect them from themselves.
Right.
You know, that's why Chrome OS and Chromebooks are in so many schools. They're so easy to kind of keep control over.
Yeah, and they're easy to manage. They're easy to administer. They're easy to reset if anything ever goes wrong, because it's, again, it is a browser. Here's what I would suggest. For this budget, rather than $750 to $850 to get a laptop that may or may not be good, you could afford to get a Chromebook and a Winbook, both from Acer. And actually, it's the same design. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll try to make them in the show notes. But they do offer a $250 Chromebook that's actually really, really nice.
Is it the Chromebook 15C910?
Yeah, so it's a 15-inch. It's not bad. It actually works quite well. And if you want them to have a more familiar workspace, so working with Office, if you get the Winbook, also $250, you do get a free subscription to Office 365 that you can also use on the Chromebook.
Oh, okay.
So hey, $500, it's a win-win. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good to me. I haven't had experience with this particular Chromebook. I will say that
You're spoiled.
I'm
You're
spoiled. And I fully realize I'm spoiled. And so any other Chromebook that I use just doesn't hold a candle to the Pixel, just from build quality, from the feel of the keys, from the trackpad. All that stuff really has bugged me on some of the super low-cost Chromebooks. So I would definitely say do your homework and maybe go to a Best Buy or something and put your hands on an actual Chromebook if you're going to consider doing this, just to kind of get a sense. But I have heard good things about this one. So.
Well, Audrey, if I could chime in for a second here, I have an anecdote on this. My dad has a Surface 3, which is the same one I have, and if your parents are comfortable with Windows and can get around that enough and not screw it up too bad, my dad's okay, but it hasn't really screwed it up. The Surface 3 happens to be right in that price range total. You're about $800, I think, with the keyboard cover. And it's a really nicely built thing, and it's not cheap in quality. And it's kind of a low-end, like low-powered thing, but it's portable and light. And if that's what they need, that's a cool idea. But you just have to make sure they're okay with Windows.
It's actually not a bad recommendation because those are very well put together. They last a long, long time, and they also get the advantage of having it as a tablet. So
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. No. Okay. So there we go. Follow Alex. Do what Alex says.
No, that's a bad idea.
That's much better. Now, Jason, we're going to end it here because we are running long, and in about 3 minutes, Alex is going to start screaming at me.
Oh, we're way past that. We're 11 minutes after the time.
Yeah. How about that? Yeah. You know what? Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
It's fun.
This is not the first Know-How you've been on, right? You were on Know-How way back in the day before I came on, maybe.
Can't
for
remember.
something. It has been a long show. It's been going on for a while.
Yes, it has been on for a long time. I don't know if I've been on Know-How, to be honest.
It would be back in the
Maybe.
Leo and
It would be back then.
I know you haven't been on since I've been with the show.
I haven't.
Well, now you are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This was a pleasure.
Can we have you back at some point?
Let me know.
Because I'm getting tired of Cranky Hippo.
Yeah,
he sits
I know.
there and he just talks.
I get kind of tired of him switching all about Android. I'm like, oh, he's traveling? Oh, good. Somebody else can switch the show for a change.
Yeah.
Not really.
And actually, Alex, I think we have some words of wisdom from Brian, right? I mean, he wanted to tell us something about his experience on the show.
Somebody deleted the folder with those.
Okay, we had a gag,
things.
and they deleted the folder, so we're not going to do that.
Brian! I blame Brian.
I do. Let's bring
You
Brian
did
for
that,
everything.
didn't you?
Well, folks, we know that this has been a long show. We want to make it easy for you to follow along with anything that we did. The devices that we played with, the sites that we looked at, it's all going to be in the show notes. Just go to twit.tv/KH, and you'll be able to find them there, along with all the past episodes. If you want to download them so you can follow us in a build, or if you want to subscribe so that you can get our episodes automatically in your device of choice, that's the place to go. That's twit.tv/KH. Don't forget that we actually record 2 episodes of this show every week. We typically do it on Thursday. Our schedule's all messed up right now because Brian and I are playing tag on when we're in studio. But 11 o'clock a.m. on Thursdays, that's Pacific time, you'll find us for our first episode. And the Thursday episode is the build episode. So that's more techie. If you like soldering, if you like playing with Raspberries and Arduinos and robotics and quadcopters, that's the episode for you. Our Monday episode, which we will typically record Thursdays at about 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, that's when we'll do things like this. We'll look at tech. We'll talk about science. We'll talk about engineering. So pick your poison, pick both, but make sure you go to twit.tv/KH. And if you're going to watch us live, go ahead and jump into our chat room at irc.twit.tv. We've got a screen right below the cameras where we can actually see what you're talking about during the show. We can include you in our conversation and bring you into the build. Finally, I want to thank everyone who makes this show possible. Actually, no, you know what I want to do? I want to pimp the Twitter.
Do it.
Where do they find you?
Oh, me. I'm like, do it. Where are you? I'm at Jason Howell on Twitter. Pretty easy to remember.
Yeah, and I am at Padre SJ, and our director, Halix, is known as...
Jason, can you tell Padre how to pronounce my name, please?
What's your name again?
Yeah, what is your name?
Oh,
again?
forget it.
You can find him at ANELF3. Again, that's at Twitter. Thanks for everyone who makes the show possible. I'm Father Robert Balaser, the digital Jesuit. He's Jason Howell. And now that you know how,
Go do it.
it's perfect.
I was like, is that the thing?